On top of that, you know what I'm saying? We just chilling, man. But also, man, hey, look. So the quirks of working at Celanese, man. Working at a place like Celanese is pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? Not nothing too bad. Cool place to work at. You know, you get a lot of money. Uh, very very dirty environment, though, I will say, man. Like at the same time, like that's a place where you need to really be on top of your game. You really need to pay attention to what you're doing because you can get injured. It's not like a place where like you can just lack. You can get hurt in that place if you're not paying attention. That's how I got this or whatever. I got like a little scuff. But working at that place, man, is not all what it's cracked up to be. Don't get me wrong, like I was making $35 an hour. But before I got to that point, I was making like you start out making like $25 an hour, right? So you make $25 an hour and making $25 an hour is really not that much money, to be honest. If we being real, man. Especially like when you have kids, when you got a wife, when you got a whole bunch of stuff going on. So you have to literally try to sustain and be able to, at the end of the day, just manage your money as best as you possibly can, or as you possibly can, I should say. You get, of course, there's another BMW. You get perks or whatever for working there, as far as like you get to level your get to level up at that job pretty much at the end of the day. So you got four tiers you can go up. You can do changeovers on the whole entire line. You can do packing out over there. You know what I'm saying? That's another progression. And then the other progression you get is your zone progressions when you're there also as well too. So when you're there, you literally get a zone progression for 5 lines, right? One zone, zone A, zone B, zone C, zone D. So when you over there, you literally get to learn like a whole bunch of stuff. When I first got thrown on a machine, they put me on two of them. I started out, I got hired right through the door. I went no temp agency or nothing like that. Nothing wrong if if you go through a temp agency, everybody got to get it by any means necessary. You know what I'm saying? But when I got hired on straight through the company or whatever. But backstory is like we're gonna get back to what we're talking about. But pardon me, there's an H3 over there. That's crazy. But anyways, not to get off topic. When I went over there, I was going to go to like a place called Mobia, and you got to take an assessment test at this place. It's a gateway college or whatever like that. So they pretty much see how well you're able to handle different things or whatever. So it's like as far as math skills, verbal skills, all different kinds of stuff. It's assessment test, right? So you go over there, they see how good you do on the test, and depending on how good and how well you do on that test, then you'll pretty much, you know, yeah, then you'll pretty much get a certain amount of money, right? And everybody love a certain amount of money. So I got I kept getting like played or whatever because with Mobia, never got hired on there. We talking about Celanese, I got hired on, but on Mobia, when I was gonna try to get hired on over there, let me turn the signal off. They literally, I asked the lady, took me over there, took the test, and then after I went to go take the test, it's like I got played pretty much. I kept calling the lady, kept following up with the lady, everything, right? She literally just like blew me off. Not like that, but you know what I mean. Like, because I wanted to get hired, and this is like 3 years ago, right? And then I'm like, bro, all right, man, you know what? It is what it is. They're gonna match. I was like, it is what it is, man. So what? So Uh, that's crazy. I just seen him. But anyways, like man, we literally so she blew me off or whatever. Then on top of that, it was like it was like as if She didn't want to give me the job type shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, bro, you know what, man? I ain't about to keep dealing with this. You want to keep on doing that? I don't want to work for your company no more. And then by the grace of God, man, I was like driving past this place called Celanese, right? Driving past this place called Celanese. And as I drove past that place, I literally seen a sign outside and it was like, oh yeah, now hiring for like 30 something dollars an hour. I'm like, 30 something dollars an hour. I'm like, bro, that's like the most money I ever made at the job. Like, what? Let me go over here and see what they talking about. So when you first get over there at that time, even now, you'll start out at like 25, 24, $25 an hour. And then like you'll get the progressions like I was saying for packaging and feed, you'll get one for changeover. You'll get one for when you do don't hit me. When you get one for one zone, which would be A through D, you know what I'm saying? And you'll learn five zones, or you'll learn five lines in that zone, right? So once you learn that, then that's when you have to learn four. You have to get four progressions in order for you to be able to get, and like pretty much you'll be topped out, and you'll be top tier at that job at Celanese, and you'll pretty much get 35, $34 and some change or whatever. It'd be like close to 35 after uh like your shift differential and things of that nature. But then also you get cost of living every year also too. And then depending on how good you do at the job, you get a certain amount of money off that as well too. Now don't get me wrong, the money good. The money is like very, very good. But the one thing I do not like is the environment. The environment is very harsh. It's a nasty environment. The environment is not that good, man. I'm telling you. If you're gonna work at a place like Celanese, your mental gonna have to be right because you're gonna have to work 12-hour shifts. But the good thing about working them 12-hour shifts though, you don't work 12 hours 7 days in a row or 6 days in a row. They don't even let you do 7 days in a row. You can do overtime, but they'll let you work. The maximum that you will work is 4 days in a row or whatever. And then the next uh the next following week, you'll work like 2 days, and then you'll be off 2 days, and then you'll go on, you'll work 3 days, and then you'll be off 3 days, and then you'll work 4 days, and you'll be off 4 days, type thing, or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? And I was on C crew or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And C crew was pretty much like graveyard shift. It'll be you'll work from 5 to 5, and when you get there, technically when you get there, you have to be there. You can't be there like at 5. In this place right here, you don't have to clock in. They judge you if you late by is if you like show up to the meeting late or whatever like that, right? So if you show up to the meeting late, like as far as if you go and like the meeting started at like 4:45 or whatever, right? So if you not or actually 55 or whatever. So if you was there at 55, then you good. But like if you a minute late, they still be cool about it or whatever. As long as you didn't miss like the toolboxes, and the toolbox is when they talk about like all the stuff that you need to like know about your line before you go out on the floor. The toolbox was cool, but at the same time, the toolbox didn't tell you everything that you needed to know about your line. And that's one of the things that I could not stand is because you literally could go out there and it'd be something totally different than what the hell they talked about in the toolbox. And I'm just like, bro. And that's why like I started to get mad at the toolbox meeting because and you can see it like because I got an attitude problem. Like every time they would say something, I'm just like, bro, like why to a certain extent, like you know what I'm saying? I get along with everybody. But it would just be the information, man, because it's like false information at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. If you're gonna give me the information, give me the right information. Don't give me the information that's like this bullshit, pretty much. Give me information that's like gonna actually help me to where I'm able to know what's going on. But anyways, man, you learn the toolbox, and then after you learn the toolbox, you'll go out. I need gas, and then you'll go out to the floor. You give relief, meaning you'll pretty much take over for your partner or whatever like that. So he'll tell you what's going on with the line, and then after he tells you what's going on with the line, you can then actually go. Let me park real quick, y'all. Hold on one second. Let me back this vehicle up real quick, right? So he'll pretty much tell you the hell UHR doing at Best Buy, but they pretty much tell you. Cut the car off. They pretty much tell you, be like, hey man, this, and this going on or whatever. You need to change your glass. You need to change your material. You got to change your flake. This needs to be changed. This is running this amount of time, and this, that, and the third or whatever like that, right? Then you go off and then you run your line, and then every time it comes to it for you to be able to change what you need to change, then you pretty much just change what you need to change, the material at the time. And it'll some things are depending on how fast it's running. If you're running a line that's running 300 pounds an hour, you rarely gonna change glass, flake, uh, mineral, chip, whatever it is that you're running, because at the end of the day, you're running 300 pounds an hour. A super sack, it literally has about 2,000 something pounds in it or whatever, right? So, bro, you literally gonna be you running something that's running like 70 pounds an hour. That's gonna last you all day, 2 days, if that. That's not even gonna run out. Like it's gonna keep running. But now, if you're running a line that's running, let's say 2,500 to 2,800 pounds an hour, that's when you start to be like, okay, well, this glass is going to be running at 1,500 pounds an hour. So I'm going to have to change this out every hour and a half or this, that, and the third. But anyways, man, as far as the money, it's a lot that goes into that job, man. It's quite a bit that goes into that job. I'm not going to get into everything, but and especially in this video, but there's a lot that goes into that job, man. I'm telling you. But if you want to work there, go ahead, man. Celanese, they got a whole bunch all over the country. Like, see if you got one where you live at. They got one in Texas. They got one in Kentucky and Florence. Uh, they got a whole bunch of them, man. They got some overseas. If you're watching this from overseas, um, Celanese, man, is like a very dirty place, though. Remind you of that. Uh, it's so dirty to where, like, when you're driving the Ford truck, there's like a blue beam. You can see the blue beam because of all the dust and like the debris that's like over there. And your line, be prepared to like be smelly when you get off work also as well too. Cause like when you actually working at that place, you're gonna come home and you're gonna be smelly. I don't care what you think. Uh, yeah. But yeah, you're gonna be smelly, man. Cause like literally your car will smell. So I would change before you leave work. I literally would change, or if I do keep the stuff on, I put stuff on my seats. But the inside of your car would smell, man. When you get home, as soon as I get home, I go straight to my garage. I don't go through my house, nothing. And then as soon as I do that, I'm like pretty much damn near naked. And then I get in the shower, and then I shower up, and I make sure that I take like at least a 30-minute shower, bro. And I'm washing myself at least 3, 4 times, like thoroughly, just so I can get the smell off me. But sustaining like or surviving with this job or with Celanese, man, you can survive at that job like crazy. Like my checks were amazing. Like you would get, I think the highest check that I got was it was like 4,000. This is one check. It was like 4,000 and some change or whatever like that. But that's because you would work overtime or whatever. And I would work overtime like all the time. I was like the main person, one of the main people that was working overtime all the time because I like the money. And I'm like, damn, I'll be able to sustain and be able to buy this, and this with my money and make sure my kids are straight, make sure my family's pretty much straight and well taken care of. Uh, but Only thing is, once you start seeing that type of money, you ain't gonna want to go back to making the regular money you was making. As far as um, like a regular check, if you don't work overtime, it'll be like 2,300 to 2,400, maybe 2,500 or something like that on a regular check. Yeah, it'd be like 20, yeah, like 2,500 or something like that on a regular check, which ain't bad though, man. Now you got to think, bro. 2,500 on a regular check, that's not bad. That's literally 5 grand in 1 month. Or if it's 2,400, I'm saying be a little bit less. But at the same time, bro, that's a lot of money. And then if you do work a certain amount of days, you can only work like you can only work 6 days in a row. You can't work 7 days. They won't let you. I tried, they won't let you. Uh, Being at that place though, you really gotta be on your game because if you're not, I'm telling you, you'll get jammed up and you don't want to get jammed up. Like as far as you need to make sure your line is running good, you can't slack, you can't. That's another thing too. Like you have to watch your line, but you have to get somebody to watch your line when you go to break. Now, granted, there's a lot of people that know how their line runs, so since they know how their line runs, they'll just walk off. They just walk off. Now you dealing with strands or whatever like that, and they're very hot too. So and you messing with an extruder, it's very very hot. Um, Zones can reach like 600 degrees or whatever. If you go like 700, that's a flash point, and your machine you can catch it on fire or whatever like that, depending on like what material that you're running. But job is easy, man, for the most part, bro. Like that job is not really a hard job. So if you want to go ahead and work at Celanese, man, by all means, y'all go ahead and you work over there. It's not. It's really not a bad job. It's just about all. It just depends on what shift you work, and it's the people, man. Obviously, every time you go to a job, they always talk about their culture or whatever like that. Meaning they work culture is like real good, and this, that, and the third. A company can gloss or glorify how well their company is, but it don't matter. And the reason why I say it don't matter is because at the end of the day, when you get to the job, then that's when it matters. If somebody say, "Oh yeah, the culture's good, man. Everybody here is nice, and this, that, and the third, blah blah blah," bruh, it ain't always gonna be like that. Just because the company say it's like that, the company only sees what they see on paper, but how people really are in that company, yeah, exactly. So like, come on, bro. But at the same time, man, like, hey, like I said, bro, if y'all want to go work for Celanese, y'all go ahead and you work for Celanese, man. You can make a living out of working at Celanese. I'll give y'all more information like later in a later video or whatever like that. If y'all really want to know what's going on, I'm just trying this video out, man, just to see if anybody want to pay attention to what I'm talking about this work, um, the work ethic that it takes to go put in to work at a place like Celanese, man. Like you don't have to work there. You can work somewhere else and do whatever you want. But I'm telling you, I'm trying to tell y'all the code, bro. I'm trying to get y'all the game. Work for a place like Celanese. And the reason why I say that is because literally, how many jobs you know out there that's gonna pay you $35 an hour? Not a lot, right? And also, you don't have to have no experience working at this place. They train you. Like literally, they train you to work there. Now, you have to know somebody sometimes to be able to work there. And the reason why I say that is because they not hiring right now, but you can always try. They always looking for new people. Like this time of year, like when it gets December or whatever like that, like I've seen them take people from the staffing agency and they know you know what I'm saying? They on top of their game. They get rid of them and then they bring the same people back. They get rid of them and then they bring the same people back. And it's just like, bro, stop playing with them people and just hire them. That's all you got to do. Like it's a person up there that I know named right, and I'm just like, bro, why don't you get hired, man? Yeah, my girl, whatever, like that. I'm just like, bro, fuck all that, man. You know what I'm saying? Part of my language, but I'm like, man, forget all that, because you got to worry about an agency, or you got to worry about this place not wanting to keep you because they not on that right now. So, anyways, man, hey, I'll update y'all more in another video or whatever, man. We just gonna keep it there for now. I'm about to go on Best Buy. I don't think y'all want to see me shop or whatever like that. We'll do that like later on or whatever. Uh, we'll do that way later, so that way y'all start learning about like my life and my story or whatever. Then once I start to gain subscribers or whatever, then we'll go from there or whatever. Then we'll start doing like high gloss videos and things of that nature, because that's what I love. I love cinematography and stuff. Anyways, y'all probably don't want to hear nothing about that, man. So we just gonna keep it on work for right now. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll holler at y'all. Peace.